groups, particularly the deaf and blind. I am therefore reminded of the wise words of one of Africa's illustrious sons, the late President Nelson Mandela, when he said, open quote, "Our human compassion binds us to one another, not in pity or patronizingly, but as human beings who have learned how to turn our common suffering into hope for the future," close quote. Now this school, ladies and gentlemen, those who can donate, I'm sincerely asking you to donate something for them. The blind at that school are looking for the braille machines. I'm sure they are not very expensive. They don't have, they've got only 2. And if you want to donate, we can be very much happy. Before I leave Kenya and return to South Africa, please do contact us. Let us introduce you to them or call them, tell them that we have asked you to donate. Thank you very much for this evening. But before I leave, Steve, thank you very much. And I'm happy that both UNDP and UNICEF made this day possible today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A hand of appreciation as he goes back to his seat. Thank you for the remarks. Thank you for awesome work. We recognize the efforts and the work that you're doing as we commit towards the disability inclusion. And I'd like to recognize the partners in the building, because this is the time where they'll be coming up for remarks and basically letting us know the efforts so far in their areas of expertise and what they're doing as they commit tonight to the next couple years in ensuring that human rights of persons with disabilities are observed. And on stage, I'd like to invite a representative of Safaricom PLC. I'd like to say we also have NCBA in the house, Kenya Airways in the house as well, who will be coming forward, as well as KEPSA. As we begin, I'd like to call Mr. Paul Kasim from Safaricom PLC. If you're here with us, please come forward, give your remarks. Let's appreciate Mr. Paul Kasim as he comes forward. Welcome.
Thank you, Florence. Allow me to ride on the protocols and say good evening, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be with you this evening. On behalf of Safaricom, Dr. Peter Degwa and the team, we thought we'd share with you a few bits in terms of our commitment and some of the things we've done to date towards empowering persons with disability. At Safaricom, we believe in purpose, people before profit. It's a big thing. Purpose, people before profit. And the profits come naturally. But we also ask ourselves the question, who are we leaving behind? We have embraced diversity, equity, and inclusion, premised on the 3 Sustainable Development Goals. SDG 8, which calls for decent working opportunities and growth. SDG 10, which advocates for reduced inequalities. And SDG 17, which calls for partnerships. And partnerships, indeed, we've done. While there are several initiatives aimed at driving the overall diversity inclusion agenda within our organization, our focus today is on persons with disabilities. Recognizing the talents and input that persons with disabilities bring to the table, we have continued to grow their ranks and we have come a long way. We recruited the first person with disability in 2001. 8 years ago, we had 1.7 of our workforce as persons with disability out of the 6,000 employees. 8 years later, 7 years later, that number has shot up to 3.2% of the 6,000 employees that we have. And our target is 5% by end of 2025, which we think it's not by chance, but deliberate effort to do so. It is as a result of intentional policies, partnerships and programs aimed at dismantling barriers and fostering a culture of inclusion. And I dare say it's about leadership. Everything I've had today, it's where there is leadership, there is a will, and there is a way. In 2018, those of you may remember, Kenya and the UK governments met and did the first GDS, Global Disability Summit, in London. And we committed ourselves to resolutions which included promoting partner leadership and diverse representations of persons with disability. We actually committed to 3 actions, which are very consistent with what we want to sign up tonight. The first one was about economic empowerment. The second was about removing stigma and discrimination. And the third was linked to infrastructure, but specifically around assistive devices. We have put forward some solutions like the dot braille, the watch. So Your Excellency, as you speak around that, yes, it is possible. And the M-Pesa, the voice recognition, individual voice recognition facility or functionality, which have enabled visually impaired persons to access M-Pesa services with privacy and dignity. We are also supporting access to assistive devices such as white canes and wheelchairs, both as a corporate but also through our foundations. Looking to the future, as part of our vision to become Africa's leading purpose-led technology company by 2030, we are keen to leverage technology and innovation to drive inclusion. In closing, as we gather here today, I urge all of us, as previous speakers have said, to think about how we can build on what we have achieved and accelerate the progress. Today's event is an opportunity to learn from one another. I think we've also shared ideas. There are things we'll pick out of tonight and explore innovative approaches to enhancing inclusion. It's also a chance to align our efforts with the SDG goals, ensuring that our work contributes to a world where no one is left behind. Let me once again reiterate Safaricom's unwavering commitment to inclusion, because we believe in a future where diversity is celebrated, equity is championed, and inclusion is the norm. Together, we can break barriers, open doors, and create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Paul. It's a pleasure to see you tonight, and thank you for your remarks. Indeed, we can say Safaricom is doing great things. And I know they're doing even great things in terms of tech and including persons with disabilities, in terms of ensuring the workspace environment is much better. And, you know, they have all types of disability within Safaricom's employees, which is something to appreciate tonight and, you know, borrow something from that as we move forward. I'd like to recognize the Commissioner Thomas Koya, the Chair, National Gender Equality Commission with us. Welcome. Yes, thank you for your presence this evening. I'll continue recognizing the rest as we progress. And at this moment, I want to invite Kenya Airways representative on stage for their remarks let us know of your efforts as also we commit to the way forward. Please, Kenya Airways representative, make your way on stage. Let's appreciate him as he comes forward. Thank you for your presence. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Allow me to also write on the protocols already recognized earlier. My name is Habil Waswani. I'm the company secretary and director in charge of legal services at Kenya Airways. So I stand before you here on behalf of my group managing director and CEO, Alan Kilavuka, who's out of the country on an official assignment. So he sent me here to just reconfirm our commitment towards this disability inclusion initiative. And it's such a pleasure for me to stand before you here. And together with me here, I have one of my champions on this disability inclusion, Linda Okolo. Linda, just stand up and wave. This lady is the driver for all the initiatives we're running around this initiative. So without her, I don't think we would move very far. But through her, everyone is getting on board this ship. And the commitment, Linda, you can sit down. The commitment has seen this disability inclusion subject getting the attention up to the shareholder, the government, our key shareholders, the board, and the top management. So it's a subject at every executive management meeting we speak about, and at every quarterly board meeting, the board wants to know what we are doing about this. And this is a conversation because I serve on both Kenya Airways and Jambojet. Jambojet is our subsidiary. Jambojet is also getting on board with this, and the board is quite keen to see what they are doing around this. So it gives me great pleasure to just come here and reconfirm that commitment. And what a better way to sum it up, the three pillars: economic empowerment, digital accessibility, and physical infrastructure. So a lot of institutions focus on the physical infrastructure, which, like Kenya Airways, we're doing, right from how you board our aircrafts, yeah, how you access our buildings and so forth. We try so much around there. There's a lot of compliance being, given focus, especially by the US regulatory authorities. So like this year, we had to do a video to demonstrate how we take care of people with disability on board our aircrafts, right from JFK to Nairobi. Yeah, and remember, we do the Dreamliner to JFK. So we've had to do a lot of adjustments to just make sure we get to cover all the people with disability, focusing on wheelchair accessibility on the aircrafts, and even people who probably have medical challenges who are being transported to different destinations for medical attention. So allow me to just touch on a few notes which Alan sent me to share with you. So our areas of commitment focus on 4 areas. So travel accessibility. Our commitment is to improve accessibility services, ensuring that you have easy access on board our aircraft. You have easy access on board together with all our in-flight services, and we give you the necessary assistance to enjoy our services on board. And the statistics have shown us that over the past year, 5%, over about 5% requests have been made for people who require wheelchair access and support. And together with the Kenya Airports Authority, who manage the airport, we've been able to offer that. We've also, through Linda and other champions that we have around this disability inclusion, been able to create awareness and do a lot of sensitivity training with our staff who handle customers. Year on year, last year we transported about 3.8 million passengers across the world. This year we budget to transport around 5 million passengers across the world. And remember, for Kenya Airways, our focus is Africa to the world. Our mission is to make sure we connect people, culture, and markets right from Africa to the globe. And you can imagine then, if the numbers are growing from 3.8 million to 4.5 million this year, how much we need to do to just make sure we take care of all those requirements for people with disability and make them comfortable on our facilities in the air and on ground. The third pillar that we commit to do is on the employment and recruitment. I'm happy that my friend Isaac Mwaura, who I've known for quite a bit, has recognized that we, this year, recruited one of the first, cabin crew. We call them cabin crew, not air hostess, who is a person with disability. So there's a lady who's already on board our aircraft. I don't know whether you've interacted with her. And that's just the beginning of so many initiatives we are running. Within our technology department, we already have 6 interns who are running on a program to just make sure we integrate them into our operations from an employment perspective. I think you'll all appreciate that airline business is a bit sophisticated, so we have pilots, we have engineers, we have technical people who support us to just make sure you're safe in our skies. And we will do all that it takes to make sure we integrate, train, give opportunity to all that are able to do these jobs and integrate them within our workforce. Early this year, we had Thika School for the Blind coming to have a taste of what it feels to be on board an aircraft. So we had students from Thika School of the Blind, and you should have seen the excitement on the faces of the young men and women. The children who were there, it was their first time to interact with the metal of an aircraft. Just seeing them sitting in a Dreamliner, experiencing what it takes to be in the sky, to be in an aircraft for the first time. It was just so wonderful for everyone to see, and it's such incidences that inspire such young people to want to be what they should be and feel that they have no limitation. So our third pillar of commitment is on partnership and for advocacy. So we'll continue to partner with UNDP, UNICEF, like-minded partners to just make sure we drive this culture within our operations, from now going into 2028, where we intend to meet what the commitment you have to have about 8% of our workforce comprising of people with disability. So to sum it up, we are so happy with this slogan, leave no one behind, because see how it connects to Kenya as the pride of Africa. Our intention is to make sure we don't leave you behind, you enjoy the pride, and you feel part of this pride as we transform this organization back to the glory days where it was. And watch out for our performance this year, Elas. We're back on track, and we're happy to carry this journey of diversity and disability inclusion through to 2028 and see where it takes us and go step by step, blow by blow with what targets the UNDP sets for us. So with those few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to thank you very much for giving us an opportunity, and thank you very much. Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the remarks. Let's appreciate him as he goes down to his seat. Accessibility for everyone. We hear, employment of persons with disabilities, which is very encouraging. Thank you so much for your efforts. Allow me to recognize Claire Thomas, who is with us this evening, from U.S. Embassy, Political Affairs Officer. Welcome, Miss Claire. We have Alan Neese from USAID, and Gloria Wangui, the CEO of National Youth Council, with us tonight. Welcome, welcome. All right, as we proceed with the commitment call, I'd like to call forth the representative from KEPSA. If you're here, KEPSA Foundation, please make your way on stage. Miss Gloria, as you give us your remarks on the efforts you've done on disability inclusion so far, and what are the next steps in committing towards the same agenda 2030.
Allow me also to stand on the protocols that have been observed this evening. I'm delighted that this workshop has happened. Thanks to UNICEF and UNDP for the great work that you have done. Honorable Mwaura, thank you for recognizing a lot of work we did when I was at the ILO with you. We went literally everywhere from Geneva, Ethiopia, and even going to the minister's office for them to commit to when the United Disability Wing or Council was being formed. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be part of this event today as we aim to promote disability inclusion in line with the UN International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Allow me also to bring greetings from KEPSA Industry, our CEO, Ms. Kariuki, who is also very committed to this cause. KEPSA Foundation is the social arm of KEPSA Industry. We say that we are the twin engine, whereas the industry aims to global competitiveness, the foundation goes to the grassroots, and the foundation works with vulnerable communities, and the foundation aims to adhere to the social impact, or is mandated to strengthen the socio-economic transformation by engaging the private sector members in social impact, ensuring that the expertise and resources are utilized for impactful interventions in the community and with stakeholders. We realize that even if businesses made a lot of money, if they would not look at the key principles of responsible investment, then they would never get to global competitiveness. And therefore, it was important that KEPSA was going to form the foundation so that it would look or seek to adhere to the areas that support the ESGs, the SDGs, and the key principles of responsible investment. At the foundation, that's where we foster governance and national value systems. We look to see, to support issues on women leadership, persons with disability empowerment, and child care, where we have a program with UNICEF. We are doing a lot of work on community climate action and sustainability. We've actually just come from our country to establish orchards for schools. That's why if I was a bit sleepy on there, you forgive me. Under these priority areas of women, youth, and persons with disability, KEPSA Foundation is committed to championing disability inclusion within the private sector. And I'm always asking, if the 100,000 member plus companies can only employ one person, we start with one person from every company. So we would actually start with 100,000. And therefore this partnership is so important to us so that we can impress upon industry to do exactly that. We have adopted partnership, therefore, and collaborations as key driving to driving an inclusive business environment. And for this reason, we have partnered with organizations like USAID, MasterCard Foundation, UNICEF, Light for the World, and Next Step Foundation, among others. The partnerships have been crucial in driving disability inclusion and empowerment goals essential to unlocking full economic potential. Through this, the private sector continues to generate more job opportunities for the underrepresented, and therefore we would like that to also form part of the persons with disability in these areas. And we are actually impressing upon businesses to recognize the vast potential in employing diverse talents. We cannot give an excuse anymore. During COVID, we realized that people can work from home. Everybody can work from home. We worked from home. And therefore, we have those digital skills that even people with disabilities can do and even work from home. What have I done at the foundation? I've employed, I started with employing a few with the partnership with Light for the World. And because of maybe the type of disability, I have allowed a few of them to work from home. And we give them work, we send the work through online, and then we get the results, and we are impressing upon industry to do exactly that. As we do that, we are also saying that the private sector needs a disability inclusion toolkit so that we can be able to measure. Because we say what is measured then does not count. So with assistance again from our development partners, we will work on that disability inclusion toolkit to help the private sector get what we are doing. And this will advocate for inclusive hiring and career advancement policies that create equitable opportunities for persons with disability, with a target of achieving measurable increase in the representation of persons with disability within our workforce. We are also committing to improving accessibility in business operations. We commit to encourage private sector organizations to ensure physical and digital accessibility in their services and premises, including disability-friendly customer support products and environments. We are developing, yes, I mentioned this, a guide for the private sector in fostering disability inclusion. On economic empowerment, we commit to support initiatives that empower persons with disability economically through targeted financial products, entrepreneurial support, and capacity building programs. And because we work through a sector-wide approach, we commit to position KEPSA Foundation as a champion for disability inclusion, setting benchmarks, and inspiring industry-wide option. Therefore, raising awareness across industry so that they can do the same. I thank you.
The ones who are here, we have the Vice Chair of Kenyan National Commission of Human Rights, Dr. Raymond Nyeris. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So now, as I invite the next partner, NCBA, do we have a representative from NCBA with us? Yes? All right. If there's no representative from NCBA, sorry? We do? No? Okay. I'd like the DJ, give me a music. I want to invite Mr. Stephen Jackson on stage to give us a commitment call for UN, but I want him to come while making a bit of moves. Yes, please. DJ, do us a favor. Let's sing. Yes. Do we have a song? Oh, he's saying no. Oh, okay. All right. Let's appreciate him as he comes. Oh, there we go.
Making moves is an ability I don't have. Friends, it's been a long evening and you've heard from me already, so I will be relatively brief. I will just simply say that on the United Nations side, we also are making our commitment around these three pillars: economic empowerment, digital accessibility, and infrastructure accessibility. So on economic empowerment, we're striving to meet the UN's global disability inclusion strategies target of achieving 8% representation at least of persons with disabilities in the workforce. I'm really delighted that some of the staff who've come on board are already with us this evening. This includes equitable hiring, career development and workplace support, capacity building, delivering skills development programs tailored to the needs of persons living with disabilities, and then partnerships for economic opportunities, where we hope to be collaborating with private sector partners like some of you in the room here and civil society to create sustainable economic opportunities, including entrepreneurship support, accessible financial products, and vocational training. The second commitment pillar is around digital accessibility, ensuring that persons with disability have equal access to digital tools and technologies in line with the UN Disability Inclusion Strategy by promoting accessible digital platforms. So much of our work now is around digital platforms. We're determined to ensure that those are accessible by promoting inclusive communication and by building capacity in digital skills across our programming. Within our own premises, we are pushing to develop barrier-free environments, to have inclusive event planning, and to collaborate for systemic change. And I'll pause to note that we are engaged right now in a 6-year major infrastructure upgrade in our wonderful campus of Gigiri, and accessibility. Finally, as always with the United Nations in Kenya, we're about policy and advocacy. So we want to work with all of the partners in this room, and particularly with Kenya government, so that meaningful inclusion is set within the policies and laws of Kenya, and that then they are implemented. That means strengthening partnerships with you, advocating for policy action, and building capacity for policy makers. So you have our commitment, mine as resident coordinator across the 25 agencies, funds and programs of the UN in Kenya, and I know you have the commitment of the individual entities within that UN family. We will be with you, walking along this journey, and we are really looking forward to building from where we are. We have our status report that we're going to be launching very shortly, and to seeing where we can reach by 2030, when Vision 2030 comes to its conclusion and when the SDGs are due. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Please don't leave the stage. It's that time we are committing. And I'd like for us to invite back the partners who are here before. A last call. Do we have someone from NCBA with us before we sign the commitment form? Is there anyone from NCBA? If not, please, a representative from Safaricom PLC, Mr. Paul Kasim, come back on stage. Kenya Airways representative, please come back on stage. We have KEPSA representative, please come back on stage as we make a commitment call together. DJ, you're failing me. I need some music, please. I need some music. Some music. All right, let's have the form plus a pen. This is an amazing time. You can be upstanding, take photos. You know, this is partners taking another step of committing to the next 3 years, transforming lives of persons with disabilities. Is not a light thing, all right? So take a photo, take a photo. Yes. And there we go. We have Alright. And Safaricom is doing its thing. Thank you. Thank you. We have Kenya Airways saying a better life for persons with disabilities. Yeah, and more. And finally, the UN is on board. Makofi, 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 Makofi. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the commitment call of advancing the disability agenda. Take photos, post onto social media. Let the world know this evening we are doing great things, all right? Makofi, 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 Makofi. Amazing. Mr. Chua Michaels, I can see you. Dr. Mwaura. All right. Amazing. What a great moment to be alive as a person with disability myself. Seeing this is encouraging and it's hopeful. Yeah? Thank you so much for the commitment this night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, more photos. Okay, thank you everyone. We are just about to close. We have one more thing to do. Imagine a group dance of persons who are deaf. You know, they have a way of doing their dance, listening to the music in their own way and style, which we're going to see tonight, okay? So be patient, a few minutes, and then we're going to close the program. So for the deaf group, please be on stage. The stage is yours. Show us what you got. DJ, do your thing. Makofi, Makofi, this is not a light thing. This is fantastic. Yeah? All right.
Yes, girl. What that they do this so na 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 na. You getting us.
It's been lovely having you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. We've come to the end of our event. Thank you so much for your presence, and we have not done badly off on time. It's a good time for you to interact and go back and have a good rest for tomorrow's activities. Thank you so much for your presence. Thank you for your commitment for the partners here. We appreciate, and we're looking forward to great things in terms of human rights for persons with disabilities. All right, the cocktail area is open. We have some bitings. Make sure you're not going back home empty stomach, with an empty stomach rather. Grab something, all right? My name is Florence Kisombe, as I mentioned earlier. I was your MC for this evening. Thank you so much. Enjoy.